Hi little stars and welcome back to None Than The Shadows Are Washing, a Sciencetale AU. This game is by none other than the darkpetal16. Yesterday I uploaded the 100th episode in the If series playlist. Yay me! In over 6 months. Well, actually, in 6 months we have actually done 100 episodes over the course of various games. So, 10 likes on this video and I will upload the next part because obviously this one I am not going to skip anything. This is a full complete playthrough from start to finish for each of the routes. I will also clarify that we're not going to tackle the bad endings until after we completed this route, and if Papyrus's route comes out before then yeah, we will cover Papyrus. But for now we're going to go after rather than Dr. Wingerding's Gaster. 10 likes or you don't get another video of this, okay? Good, fair, fantastic. Now for the warnings. Please keep in mind that these warnings really wouldn't cover this specific episode at all that much, because this is more to do with like the bad endings when we go for them. So unless I mess up and end up getting myself killed, we should be fine. Disturbing description, so don't worry, again, there's more to do with the bad endings, but if you've seen The Horror Tale, or Mafiafell, or Siren Call, then yeah, you know what you're in store for. If not, don't worry, we're not going to have to worry too much about that. At least for now. Unnerving, unsettling sounds. There is a few, but that'll probably be in the next part. Violence, because it's an Undertale AU, what are you expecting when going into the multiverse? Death, because that's also to do with the fact we got game overs. Murders, because why not? Gore, like I said, this one will most probably be more associated with the simple fact for the bad endings, and since I am not going to actively seek them out in this one, we're just here for romance. Let's just hope we get romance and not any bad things. Okay, well, we're just gonna toddle on through, shall we? Let's start the game. The sky is heavy with grey clouds as swirls of snowflake lazily descend. You struggle to hold back your yawn. It's been a long day. You let out a slow sigh. Your breath lingers in the cold air. The tip of your nose hurts and your eyes feel dry from the constant frigid wind. You're bundled as best as you could, but it's impossible to escape the chill of winter. Ugh. At least you'll be home soon. You're eager to get inside and eat dinner. You can see the front door of your house. You got the key in your backpack, and you start to reach for it. Oh, God. I got jump scared by the freaking phone chime. I knew it was coming, but I wasn't prepared and I just got jump scared. Anyway, your phone chimes and received a text message. You pull it out and see that it's from your older sister. Ah, dear sister of mine. You open the message. Habada. Hi. Working kinda late tonight. Can you make dinner? Sure. 5th night in a row, though. Are you okay? Yeah. Dr. G thinks we're nearing a breakthrough. We might actually do a test run tonight. This was the worst idea they could have done. This was absolutely the worst thing they could have done. Absolutely. Oh, well, and she's just like, yay! Celebration times! Come on! No. Lol. Okay, good luck. Good luck didn't do anything. I don't need luck, only science! No, you need a miracle, woman. And unfortunately, your miracle has to be me. You put your phone away. You dig your keys out of your backpack and you fumble to open the door. Your hands are stiff and achy. Another long day as a freelancer, and you still have a paper to write. Juggling work and uni is taking its toll on you. Regardless, no matter how bad or long your day is, you can't afford to slack off in school. Here we go. Your parents are paying for everything on the agreement that you keep a certain grade level. Thankfully, you are a young woman, so you have a little more energy to handle life than, say, your parents. Privately, though, let's see, you are immensely relieved that this will be your last semester. Thank goodness. Sweet freedom will be yours, along with the treasured degree. Our blood, sweat, and tears you poured into this will have all been worth it. You can already see that Feel the weight of it in your hand. Hear the polite, exhausted applause of your peers at the end of the ceremony. They go, hey, yay, woo! The weight on your shoulder will finally be lifted and you'll have a degree in hand for... Okay, so this is the green cell. Do I want to go astrophysics again? Computer science. You know what? I'm going to go with computer science engineering this time. It really doesn't matter, though. I'm going to go with this one. You've loved computers and maths. No, I didn't. I absolutely hated maths. I said this every single freaking time. I don't like maths. I do not like it. I absolutely hate mathematics in every shape and form, especially when it's in Welsh. For as long as you've known about them, your affection transformed into a single-minded goal of earning a degree and eventually a job in that area. You enter your home and kick off your shoes. At once, you strongly smell, you know, we're going to go with mint. Call back to now then. Underswap, you know, do we have mint? Mint, 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 peppermint. Close enough, we'll take it. Your sister might have turned the oil diffuser on before she left. When she noticed that you're stressed, she's likely to make the whole house smell like your favourite scent, so it's a pleasant surprise when you come home. You stretch your arms above your head, and then flick on the lights. The house is something you share with your sister. The two of you moved out together to attend the same university. This place is nearby. It's actually your grandparents' old house. They passed on some years ago, and the place has been sitting empty until you and your sister moved in. It was dusty, grimy, and needed a lot of quick repairs, but you're happy with the final results. It's a good house, a sturdy house. You and your sister can live comfortably here for a long time. As semi-broke college students, you and your sister don't have much in the way of decor. The house is really only filled with necessities, and any personal touches are reserved for your bedroom. Dinner. Right. You take off your backpack and hang it by the front door. You rub your tired shoulders in relief. At a quick pace, you move to the kitchen. Rummaging through the fridge and cabinets, you find the contents mostly barren. The two of you were supposed to go shopping earlier in the week, but between work and school, neither of you made it home before dark. It's not her fault. Your sister was offered a job at her dream job. You don't begrudge her for the long hours, or that it ends with you needing to take an extra chore or two at home when things get crazy. She always returns the favours anyhow, and when things get stressful for you, she'll pick up your favourite treat from, McDonald's, no. Tim Hortons, I actually don't know these places. Maribo's, Barbecue Nation, Annapolo Harvester, Mr. Donuts, Polo Capareno? Mesa Express Grilled Bees. Which one do I want? I don't know. What do we want? I don't know what half of these are. Let's go with Starbucks, why not? And do the laundry while you relax. Your eyes flicker between the cabinets and the fridge. Thankfully, you're not low on any seasoning, so whatever you make will be okay. Probably. You drum your fingers absent-mindedly on the fridge door handle as you consider what to make. You see absolutely nothing. Take out, here you come. Everything is completely authentic. You have no allergies nor diet restrictions. By the time the food arrives, you're absolutely starved. You take a glance at the clock on your phone. It's an hour before midnight. Your sister has worked long hours, but even this is a stretch. She is only an intern, so they don't typically keep her past 8. It's strange that... Should we keep her name Ella? We have Mia, so we need to get Mia. Meow, 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 meow. Mia isn't home yet. You sent her a message. Hey! Dang sister of mine, how late are you staying? Hello? You wait a few minutes. And this is when reality set in. We realised our doggy big sister is freaking not home and is probably getting in trouble. No response. That's unusual for your sister when she's on her medication. She always keeps her phone with her even if it gets her in trouble. If caught, you wait a little bit more before you send more messages. Dinner is done. I'll put your portion in the fridge. Call me if you need me to come pick you up. Don't try to leave alone if you're too tired to stay alert. And your frown deepens. You feel a strange sense of foreboding, uneasy. You really hate this. Mia's an adult. You're not her babysitter. She said they might be doing something important tonight. She very well could be absorbed in work. Rationally, one late night is not enough to warrant a panic attack. No matter how uncomfortable you're feeling about it. As the younger sister, you have to remind yourself that Mia has been joined to your hip since her birth. You've always looked out for one another, although her impulsive decision-making tends to lead to situations where you have to take care of her more often than not, even when you are younger. Even though you are younger than her, she is at one of the most secure laboratories in the world, surrounded by genius scientists and monster bodyguards. This will do nothing to help her in the realm of shadows and entities. Magic mirror, here we come. She's arguably much safer than you are at home. I completely disagree. Why do you feel so sick? Probably because you haven't eaten anything, but also because, like, deep down in your gut, you're like, gosh darn it all, my sister's gone and got herself into trouble and stuck in some freaking mirror, and I have to go and risk my life to go save her butt. You put away her portion of food and eat your own. With a full stomach and a long day behind you, you're more than ready to collapse into bed. You drive yourself to your bedroom and change into your pajamas. You do not wear makeup and do not use any skincare routine, so you head straight for bed. Before you can collapse on the bed, you notice an old book on your pillow, conveniently placed by none other than Mia. Your tired mind takes several seconds to realize what it is. It's an old storybook, a collection of classical dark tales. It was given to you by your late grandparents when you were small. You vaguely remember Mia asking to borrow it a few weeks ago. She must have left it on your pillow before she left for work this morning, as if she knew something bad might happen. But who am I to judge? After you left, you move to pick it up. Your hands grip the leather binding, and you know she left a few bookmarks inside. Well, we're going to go to the second bookmark because this is the Shadowed Witch. This is the story that matters. Forget all the other ones, they don't matter. Not unless you want fancy schmancy music. This bookmark takes you to the first page of the Shadowed Witch. It's a short grim tale. There once was a monster who fell in love with a woman in a quiet town. The two came together and started a family. Oh, as you do. But one day a lord came from the village and fell in love with the woman. As you do. He returned to his castle and ordered his soldiers to bring the woman to him, because apparently he does not understand the concept of if she's already married, then yes, she's not interested, sod off. Oh well. They came to the village and ransacked it for the woman. Instead of politely asking, excuse me ma'am, can you please come with us to the castle, or we may actually have to literally start ransacking the whole entire place to try and drag your ass out. She and her family tried to hide, but the villagers outed them to save their own lives and probably to stop the destruction happening to their village. I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time you shouldn't out your own from your villagers. She and her family were dragged to the castle, very rudely. It doesn't state whether or not it was during the night or during the day, but either way you should never go dragging people from their homes. The king ordered her to surrender to him. I should have actually asked, surrender in what way? And when she refused, he decided it was a great idea to execute her children. Why he thought this was a great idea, I don't know. He apparently doesn't understand the concept of Mother Bear with cubs. Mother Bear would absolutely rip you to pieces if you touched her babies. Hell have no fury like a mother scorn. Or something like that. He ordered her to surrender to him after literally murdering her children. Goodness knows if he murdered them in front of her or not. And when she refused again, he decided to execute her husband, who is a monster, who probably, I imagine, would have fought back. And somehow they could suppress him. He ordered her one final time, and when third time didn't work, he finally put her to flames. Because if a woman refuses you 3 times in a row... No, she didn't refuse him 3 times, she refused him 4, because obviously she didn't want to come out and deal with him. And instead of taking it gracefully, he decided to throw a tantrum and kept doing things, trying to make her do what he wants, even though technically she's not inclined to listen to him. Like, seriously. Rude. This woman was no ordinary woman, however. She was a witch. And her powers awakened with her dying breath, because her freaking powers didn't decide to awaken beforehand, where she probably could have saved her children and her husband. No, the powers are like, no. Forget it. I am Pacific powers that only wake up at the very last second on your dying breath, then you can curse them to hell and back again. And for some reason, this curse decides to go for everybody else. She used the entirety of her magic and soul to curse all those who betrayed or hurt her and her family. Her shadow stretched over the land, enveloping it in complete darkness. All creatures that touched it became a part of her wrath. The villagers were turned to stone, their minds forever tormented in darkness. The soldiers were drained of colour and emotion and eternally stuck in monotone. The Lord was trapped in the realm of mirrors that taunted him with his worst nightmares to the end of days. As you do, you know? In all fairness, he totally deserved it. 100%. Go witch. Totally believe in her way of doing it. I mean, he deserved this. No saving him. He totally did this. It was his fault. The story ends with everybody miserable. No, not entirely miserable. The witch kind of got a tiny bit of something out of that. With her dying breath, her curse literally messed up everything. Yes, it resulted in her wrath and anger, and yes, losing her family, but at least in death she can be with them again. At least I hope they were. Oh, good lord. Anyway, set the book aside and go to sleep after reading that. I'm sure you're not going to get nightmares in the middle of the night, and you can definitely sleep after reading that spooky story. You set the book on your nightstand. Your sheets were recently washed, so they smell fresh and feel soft against your skin, and you bury your face in your pillow. I like how my character's just like, yeah, we'll just put that over there, pretend we didn't read it. Oh, back to sleep. Me reading that, I'd be like, I'd need probably therapy. You sleep like the dead. Thankfully, not fully. The alarm gets you up in the morning and you open your... We know my eyes are always going to be pink, because pink, why not? Entirely stare up at the ceiling. You raise a hand to rub at your face. With a yawn, you roll over and grab your phone to check for any notifications. But of course, as usual, Mia didn't respond to you last night. In fact, the messages sits as unseen. Did her phone die? Your brow frowns and you check to see if you have any missed calls. She might have borrowed her co-worker's phone to reach out to you. Nothing. Okay. You get out of your bed and go down the hall. You knock on her bedroom door. Mia, you up? No response. Mia? You try to respect her privacy by staying out of her room when she's not home, but one quick glance to see if she's there should be okay. You can then make her breakfast to apologise later. You open the door and poke your head inside. She's not in her bed. You shut the bedroom door and hurry to the front room. Her shoes aren't by the entrance. You whip out your phone and call her.
The number you dialed is not in service.
Well, shit. Your body goes cold. Because shouldn't it said that the number you reached, like, it's supposed to have a different message when it's like currently like you can't get a hold of a person. It's not supposed to say that the number you dialed is not in service. That is a red flag. It's not supposed to say that to you. It's supposed to suggest for you to leave a message after, but the fact that suddenly the number's not working at all because it's not registered anymore, that's a red flag. Not in service. That means I've reached the cell tower. No, that's not exactly what it means. That actually means that it's no longer working. It has a stronger meaning, at least here in the UK. This is the city. There's no way. You try not to panic. Your sister hasn't responded to your text last night, and she hasn't come home. And you can't get hold of her. None of these things are good, but they also can be explained away. You remind yourself to not jump to anything rash. She can hyper-fixated, like Dr. Wingerding's Gaster, workaholic and all that. It doesn't happen often while on her meds, but it does happen. She, like you, has ADHD or ADD. You both remind each other to stay on your medication. She could have set her phone down somewhere in the lab. Their self-service could be spotty in the lower levels from what you've been told, and, maybe she got caught up in work. She might not even realise what time it is. Except her freaking stomach, and, her falling tired might be an indication her body's gonna eventually tell you, hey, girlie, you sleepy, you're hungry, go sort it out. You swing by the lab, and you visit often. They'll let you in, no problem, especially if you bring food. You move quickly to get ready. You brush your long... One moment, we will resume reading. 1 second. Give me a moment. Wait, we're almost there. There we go. Almost. Right. You brush your long purple, loosely curled hair, and you wear it loose. You pull on a sweater over the top of your bed. We're not going bare legs, absolutely freaking not, because it is cold. No. Ripped jeans? No. Skirt? I have been told what a snort is. Thank you so much, darkpetals, for letting me know what that is. Alright. And it's just a minivan. Shorts? No. Booty shorts? Absolutely not. Capris. Pants. We'll go with pants. Flats. Sneakers. We're gonna go with sneakers. We need to sneak. Wait. Yes, I want to still keep Kitty Hoodie, because Kitty Hoodie with ears is the boss. We need that. You do a quick check of yourself in the mirror. Your reflection stares back at you, and you try to ignore the plain worry in your face, or how your ivory skin looks paler than usual. That's okay. Your complexion will fix itself as soon as you find your sister, and maybe you'll yell at her for making you worry. You run your hands down your hoodie with the carriers to fix where it has bunched up. Your hoodie, yes. Okay, so we're going to go black, Cat. We're going to go... actually, should we go black or should we go white? You know what? We'll go white. Oh my god, we can go mint kitty? Oh, we can have a mint kitty? Oh my gosh, we can be mint. This will be perfect. We will go mint. Why? Because I can. Mint green. You're wearing a crop top, t-shirt. Yeah, fine shirt. Your pants are... We're gonna go with full... If we can have full mint. Green. Mint. I wish I didn't keep, accidentally highlighting everything. Your sneakers are gonna also be mint green. Why? Because I can. Oh, dang it. I clicked too fast. No! Oh my god, I could be a purple cat. Oh, purple kitty? I didn't know I could be a purple kitty. Well, I'm going purple kitty. If anybody has an issue too freaking bad, my game, my rules, I'm going to go purple. If I can stop messing up stuff. Purple. We're gonna be a purple kitty cat. Purple. You have no other markings. Yes, you do. We're gonna go with a moth, because moth is just, it's just something, that is representing of Gaster in general. You grab your small bag and leave. Because we need a baggie. You like this bag. It is a messenger bag. It is not very big, but it holds the essentials plus a little bit more. You hoist it over your shoulder and grab your keys and leave. It's snowing again. The winter air is frigid. You make sure to pick up food from Starbucks before you head over. It takes you an hour to get there, and still no response from your blimmin' sister, making you worry even more. Oh, thank you. The laboratory is named Capridinum, or however we pronounce this. It is run by the world-renowned Dr. Wingerdings Gaster. Whew, prepare to swoon. A genius engineer and physicist with over a dozen PhDs. Scientists from all across the world would sell their kidney for a chance to work with this famous monster. He pioneered many inventions, and his lab is known as the leading innovator when it comes to engineering and technology. It even jointly worked with the government to build rockets into space before. You met him in person. Now, let's see. We're gonna say, we were almost jealous that your sister got to study under him, but then you got to meet him. Let's see. He's beyond words. You really, really came to like him. Like him, stupidly like him, massively, one-sided crush harding on him. Damn, you couldn't love him any more than that. Whoa. The building itself itself rests on top of a massive hill. Let's just completely ignore us talking about the man of the hour, our love interest. Oh my goodness. Right. Overlooks the sea. It doesn't look very tall or impressive on the outside. 2 stories, all white, but inside it's magnificent. You've been told the basement is 20 floors deep, but that's not even had a chance to see it for yourself though, because, you know. Security's no joke at the lab as well. Massive walls line the entire perimeter and are topped with electrical barbed wire. Cameras are positioned everywhere, and there's even a monster security team that is operating magic attacks on intruders. Thankfully, direct family are allowed into the lobby and some parts of the first floor. The day your sister got her clearance, she requested authorization for you to be able to visit. After passing a careful background check, you were given a shiny laminate guest badge. You know, it's laminated. When you arrive at the badge, live at the lab, you dig out your badge. My god. It has your picture in the top right corner of it. You see your long, purple, loosely curled hair and your pink eyes staring back at you. Your ivory skin looks washed out in the photo. Directly beneath the picture, it has your name. TwinklePhoenix. There we go. You have to swipe it to open the gates, placed at the bottom of the hill. It's very strange not to see Papyrus at the security booth. They spy you straight away as soon as you saw him not there already. Why? It's a top security. Like, it's got such high security. Of course there's going to be someone there 24/7. If you don't see him, that's already an indication that something was drastically wrong. Anyway, feeling strangely guilty not to say hi to him before you enter. Maybe he's on a break? Even so, no. Papyrus doesn't take breaks on the job. He'll even stay late to ensure his brother doesn't work too much overtime. If Papyrus isn't at the booth, he was likely called inside or was doing some other errands. Right? After moments of hesitation, you reach into the security booth and write on one of his notepads. You leave a brief message for him that you are at the lab and you've brought Starbucks, and hope to see him on the way out. Okay, he's a nice monster. I know, we're gonna go with he's a diligent monster, and you don't want to get him in trouble by entering without permission, but heading up to the lab, you use your badge to unlock the front door and you enter the lab of none other than, Dr. Wingerdinks Gaster. Oh my gosh. Alright. Pristine white floors shine under fluorescent lights. Everything is clinically and clean. The lobby is minimal. Tall, fixed windows cover the front, left, and right walls. They reach up to the ceiling of the first floor. There's a reception desk directly to your left with a handful of potted plants around it. After all, plants improve everything. The far back wall is completely white with one elevator at the very center of it. You adjust your grip on the food you brought and glance at the front desk. The desk is weirdly empty. It's normally manned by a sassy cat-like monster named Catty. Whenever you visit, she always grins wickedly and demands first picks of the food. She'll happily chat with you while you wait for your sister to come up and meet with you. Sometimes it could take Mia a long time. You awkwardly talk with Catty the most out of all of Mia's co-workers. Catty, you call out, and weirdly there's no response. Catty rarely leaves her desk. First Papyrus, and now Catty. Did everyone go home? You check your phone and see nothing new from Mia. You try to call her again, even though you know what's going to happen.
The number you dialed is not in service.
Well, pooh. The same error message stars what's going on. A seed of anxiety takes root in the pit of your stomach. Its sourness makes you queasy. Your grip tightens on the bag of food you brought here. Keep calm, you tell yourself. There's an explanation for this. What that explanation is, you don't know. You take a peek at the logging book, wondering if maybe someone important came through, warranting everyone to gather together and leave, security as a second thought. You recognize and die. On days when you visited the lab at the same time, you, her, and Dr. Alphys and your sister would eat together. And I used to be the captain of the Royal Guards before the barrier came down and the monsters were freed. She's a nice monster, albeit very loud and overly excitable. Tori, you hadn't met her. Her name vaguely sounds familiar, though. Dramere. No. It doesn't make any, sense to me. Never heard of Drameers before. Oh, well. Can't be that important. From the sign-in sheet, it looks like Toriel, Anne and I both came to lab last night in the late evening, but neither signed out. Everybody's having a sleepover and no one invited me. I feel unloved. You go around Kathy's desk. Her computer is still on and it hasn't gone to sleep, so you don't need to log in. You remember she told you she changed the settings for it because she was tired of having to type out a stupid long password every time she got back from the restroom break. She had a lot of web browsers open, and you check her history. Late night at 11:58 p.m. Wow! Late night, you think? But Caddy's best friend and roommate, Bratty, is one of the scientists on Dr. Gaster's team. Caddy makes it a point to not leave without Bratty. There's nothing else of note on Caddy's computer, but you do know something alarming. Caddy's phone and her badge are up beside the monitor. Caddy does not leave her phone anywhere. She'll take it with her to the bathroom. She only sets it down when she's actively using the computer. And her badge. She can't leave the facility without her badge. Literally, the front door and security gates are a two-way check. She has to be in the facility then. You absentmindedly rub your hands together. You open up the lab messenger on Catty's computer. You check everyone's status. All of her recent contacts shown as away since weirdly and conveniently at 12 a.m. Oh, what the... Biscuits and cookies. You notice your sister's name. You hesitant try to call her through the messenger. Mia, please pick up. But she doesn't pick up. It feels too early to call the police when there could be a very good explanation for all of this. That, the security guard is missing, the secretary is missing, your sister is missing, possibly a queen is missing. No, it's totally fine. It's not weird that everyone just up and disappeared and left important things out for anyone to take. Well, it hasn't even been 24 hours. From the true crime podcast you've heard your sister listen to, you recall that you legally can't report anyone missing until it's been 24 hours unless they're a minor. You eye Catty's badge. How far are you willing to go? Are you going to steal a badge? We're going to steal a badge. This is a bad idea. This is a very, very bad idea. You're going to get in trouble for this. You're going to get in big, big trouble for this, but this doesn't sit right with you. Something is wrong. Easy to ask for forgiveness and permission, you think to yourself, as you take the badge. You move to the main elevator and use the badge to summon an elevator to you. One floor at a time. You'll find them. Unless something finds you first. You enter the floor 1. This is the common area. You step off the elevator and immediately smell coffee. You follow the main hallway down to the break room. The white tile flooring shines under the fluorescent lights, and your sneakers clank against the tiles with each step. The break room is, as upstairs, empty. The table set and used. The smell of burnt old coffee is strong, and you see several of the pots on the warmer are half emptied, with a few completely empty. No one started a fresh pot this morning. This must be leftovers from yesterday. You set the food you brought on the table with a note explaining what you're doing, and if anyone finds this to please call you. You check the bathrooms on the floor. You even check the nap room. You find absolutely nothing. Well then, we better go to the next floor. Floor 2 is used for filing. It's a wide floor filled with the filing cabinets as tall as you can see. It is dimly lit with long shadows in each corridor. You call out to see if anyone is there, and thankfully no one answers. Well, we better explore this floor. It's a long carpeted area with a big dim fluorescent light above. It's dark enough around some of the corners that you feel the need to take out your phone and turn it on like a flashlight setting. You walk down the rows of the filing cabinets, searching for any sign of anything. The metal cabinets are locked and you tug on a few as you walk, double checking. Maybe someone tried to get into them. Honestly, you really don't know what to expect or think. This entire situation is strange. And to add to that fact as well, suddenly the hair on the back of your neck stands up. Your mouth dries and your stomach drops when the music suddenly goes away. An icy tingle inches down your spine, prickly and discomforting. Your entire body goes rigid as again the music is gone. Your chest tightens as your heart picks up in speed, and you subconsciously hold your breath in anticipation. Something is watching you. Oh, well then, grip your phone tightly and use the flashlight to look at whatever the heck is staring at you. Your light shines against a shadow in the corner, and it moves. It swirls and shies away from your light, and you follow it, and it disappears from view into the greater shadows of the corner. The shadow moved. Ah! Your stomach lurches in anxiety, uncomfortable by what you saw, which was just a shadow, thankfully, nothing else. It's not like you saw freaking Slendy. You're not safe. You are not safe. You said, though, and I quote, Mia's a lot safer in the lab than we are at home. You said that, yet here we are, not safe. That wasn't natural. That wasn't a monster, nor human. Every piece of your instinct is screaming at you to get away. The prickly thumbs of anxiety poke and prod at your skin. You aren't safe. But that means neither is Mia, and you won't leave without her. You won't leave. You keep exploring. You can't risk leaving without finding some information about your sister. You continue to browse the rows of the cabinet. Then you see that one is open. A drawer is pulled all the way out, and there's a folder on top. You approach it. Whomever opened this drawer must have been in a hurry to leave. Either that or got snatched right in the middle of taking it. You pick up the folder, and there's one piece of paper inside, and it reads Project V. Artifact M, aka Artifact Mirror. The Mirror of Shadows was submitted to the Capridium lab for investigation, reported by King Asgard Ramir, because why not? The artifact was found in that wretched place at an anthropology archaeology dig site near the destroyed city, aka the city that must not be named. The mirror exceeded a strange barrier of magic the researchers were unable to explain or define. They sent a request for an additional team members on the 11th of June. New team arrived on the 18th day of June to an empty site. Authorities were called in, but nothing could be found except a note that read, plain and simply, shadows came from the mirror. And yet still these dum-dums decided to, mess around with this freaking mirror. They literally had, how more in your face does a warning have to get to literally tell you shadows came from a mirror? The mirror was moved into the Federal's custody, blah blah blah, and they requested it was moved to the Capridium, the lab, specifically to be looked after by Dr. Wingerdings. Initial screening showed that the barrier preceded a dark matter effect. The rest of the paper is torn at the halfway point. Well, lovely. You let out a sore breath. Project V. This is the only drawer open, and this is the only bit of information available. You can conclude that this was recently opened and likely was one of the project being worked on when everyone disappeared. You can't read any of the redacted information, but you now know to keep an eye out for anything related to Project V. Let's leave the paper behind. It's better to leave it rather than take it and unleash the wrath of goodness knows whatever the heck is in this room guarding this thing. You don't think you need it. Your capacity is at 0 because we didn't pick up anything, and you can carry max 3 items in your messenger bag. You return to the elevator and move to the 3rd floor. The elevator dings and the doors open to complete and utter darkness. A reflexive shiver goes crawling down your spine like a squirmy centipede, because we like bugs, apparently. You shine your flashlight, but the darkness barely abides. You can only see as far out as your hand stretches, so let's just scurry off the elevator and explore the floor. It's naturally chilly. Your breath comes out in puffs. 10 steps in and you might as well be outside in the snow. Goosebumps, yes. Goosebumps dot your arms. On top of being cold, it's pitch black and unnerving. You don't want to linger in the dark when the shadows can't be trusted. It might be risky to explore the entire floor, and you've been here only a few times with Mia, so you know your way well enough at least. If you go left, you'll arrive at the mixing and testing stations. You can hear a beeping sound there, so there might be something complete to look at. If you keep going straight, you'll arrive at the desks. You see no light penetrating the darkness, so it's unlikely any of the computers will be accessible. If you go right, you've reached the freezer. This is where they keep all the ingredients. It might be your imagination, but you swear you can hear the faint sound of knocking. Is someone inside the freezer? Well, if they are, they can freeze like a popsicle. Because if there really was someone in there, they'd be calling for us, and they're not. So, yeah. Go follow the beeping sound. You move forward and walk stiffly in the cold environment. With each step, you feel an unnerving sense of being watched. What the biscuits and cookies? You reach the missing and you see all but one is turned off. You don't recognize the device. The small screen at the top reads as complete, and you see a single vial of a type of shiny reflective black liquid. Let's just take it, shall we? You got the vial to your messenger bag. You shudder violently and your stomach lurches, your hand trembles. You should get back to the elevator. Yes, hurry. Let's just dilly-dally skidoo. We're out to here 1000. The elevator is significantly warmer and you sigh with relief once inside. You go down to the floor 4 and you open up to darkness, much like the floor above, but this one. You shouldn't get off the elevator, that's for sure. The shadows appear to be moving. It's faint, but you can see the barrel swirls inside of them. Nah, let's just skip forward the floor. This is your sister's area. It's dark like the floors above, but none of the shadows react to light. You also don't feel like you're being watched, thankfully. Right, where was I before I was really interrupted? Oh, yes. You get up quickly, moving straight to her desk. Apprehension makes you step stifled. Your nerves afraid. You've been on this floor plenty of times, albeit technically you weren't supposed to be on this floor. You still know the layout, it's fine, we don't talk about it. Your sister works near the back. She studies chemical engineering and she sits next to Bratty. So when Caddy comes down to visit Bratty, she'll let you tag along to visit your sister. Your sneakers make no noise as you walk across the white carpet over to her desk. It's empty. All the desks are empty. Your anxiety continues to grow and the root squeezes your stomach. You shake the mouse of your computer frantically. The monitor flies to life. It asks for a password. Lucky for you, Mia uses the same password for everything, which is not the smartest idea, but it's convenient for us in this. You unlock computer with ease. The first thing you check is her browser history. Thank goodness my sister hasn't been looking at anything she shouldn't. It looks like the only time she opened a browser at work was from the last week to place a pizza delivery. You open up the work messenger. Her most recent chat was with her co-worker named Gaster. Ooh, you know Sans. He's a punny skeleton. You open up the chat. For a moment, the computer freezes and your heart leaps into your throat. Is G with you? Yes. Will he be with you much longer? Probably not. Why? We got a notification from Project V. Okay, we'll let him know. Thanks, Sans. You're welcome. There's a 15 minutes time difference until the next minute. Williams wants everyone on 10. Everyone? Yep. Okay, I'll let Bratty know. We'll be down shortly. Okay. This last message was sent about 10 minutes before you got dinner. Floor 10, huh? Cathy's badge won't go that far. You'll have to find another badge. Great, we're going to go stealing another badge. I'm going to be a professional thief for the end of all this. No, don't go snooping around, Twinkle. You're here to find your sister, not dig into top secret projects that will probably get you jailed for peeking. But there's no one here to see anyway. You're curious, not stupid. Well, not outrageously stupid. At least you admit you are technically in some way stupid. Thank you. I will at least give you points and credits for that. Congratulations. You have to admit that if everyone is perfectly okay and you made a big stink about nothing, then those shadows are just fragments of your overactive imagination and you're terrified of your mind. You'll never, ever be allowed to back here. You might end up costing your sister a job. Who cares? Then she can just spend more time at home. You know what? Let's search for another card. Let's risk it for the biscuit and let's try to find everyone. Hopefully Barry left hers behind since everyone went together. You rummage through the desks. This floor is really owned for Bratty's team. That includes your sister and 2 others that were recently hired, so it doesn't take you long to search. To your relief, Bratty did leave her badge behind. Not the smartest for security reasons, but very lucky for you. You grab her badge and move to the 6th floor. The lights are on in this floor, but they flicker. That's going to be annoying. This area is the electronics department. A glance around the floor and you see a lot of strange devices you can't immediately identify. You walk up and down the desk until you spot a drawer partially open. There's a flashlight, first aid kit, a granola bar, and a fake flower inside. What is the flower for? Will light keep the shadows at bay, which is a clue to always grab the flashlight. But who's the fake flower for? Take the flashlight. You add the flashlight to your messenger bag. You see nothing else of note on this floor, and most importantly, you don't see anyone. Where is everyone? You return to the elevator and you go down to the 7th floor, Dr. Alphys's floor. It's cold like the 3rd floor. Brrr. You don't think lingering here would be a good idea. In the darkness over, you see a light. It's coming from Dr. Alphys's desk. You know she's not the best at shutting her computer down. You peer around the elevator entrance and see no swirling shadows. That's good. You step off the elevator and hurry to Dr. Alphys's desk. You're relieved she left her computer on and unlocked. You can see everything she opened last. Oh dear. Let's hope there's nothing we're not supposed to see there. Emails, the messaging system, and a running diagnostics program that isn't finished. You can clearly see she was messaging the man of the hour. Oh, Dr. Wingerding's Gaster, be still our beating heart. All right, now let's read this. Right. Dr. Bratty says BAG will be ready tonight. Sans also said you have the prototype prepared. Yes, I have the final project. Sans is keeping the original prototype at his station. Then we'll move to test tonight. Understood, yes. A die is kind of, waiting on me. Testing should not take longer than an hour. Oh, so he says. Little did he know, fine Miss Law's words. Is it okay if she watches? Dr. Alphys and I does not have clearance. Come on, we know her. Queen Toriel watched the last experiment. She is the queen. Oh, come on, please. She was once the royal guards. And besides, you can't do much without me. What if I go out strike if you don't let her watch what we're doing? Then I refuse to work. Be reasonable. That is my deal. Either my girlfriend gets to watch us do stuff and probably get dragged around the shadows with us, or no deal. That's what I imagine would happen. She'd 100% be able to get through to him. She's already here and I've kept her awake every evening this week. I don't want to lose time with her. You can sympathize, can't you? No. What the fuck? So you can't relate at all? This face speaks volumes. No. So this offer letter to Twinkle, I should just shred it, right? Oh my god, the blackmail has returned. You definitely wouldn't want to spend more time with her. This and that are two entirely separate matters. Twinkle shows a lot of promise in her field and would benefit from the experiments at the Capridium. As your assistant, because you clearly need an assistant when you have never ever needed for one before. She's just like, aha, the great genius that is Gaster suddenly needs an assistant out of the blue, and specifically someone who's nowhere near as intelligent as him. I call sus. What else does your assistant do when you're alone in a room together? That is none of your concern and none of your business. Focus on the work. I will focus on the work when you agree to my demands. Twinkle has potential to show me a different perspective outside what I know. It is a mutual beneficial opportunity. A mutual beneficial? Because you both want to spend time together? Because we are both intelligent individuals who have potential in growth. Together, professionally speaking. No one believes that for a second, Dr. Gaster. What others believe is of no consequence to me. Oh my Wingerding's response like, whatever. You can take it how you will. If you let her die watch, I'll invite Twinkle to the New Year's party and put her at your table. Very well. Your cheeks burn as you read the message. Oh my god. Alphys is savage. An offer letter? And Dr. Gaster wants to work with you? It's certainly true that working at a Caribbean would be good for your science career. You would learn a lot. To think he wants you. From the way things are worded, you get the impression he likes you. Likes you. You absentmindedly rub your hands together. And while, regardless, this is not the time to be thinking about your one-sided love for one another. For another man, when your sister is missing, priorities, Twinkle, priorities, find Mia. Once she is safe with you again, then you will be allow yourself to think about what this means for you. Yeah, the most intelligent skeleton monster on the planet wants to have you as his personal secretary. Assistant. Secretary, pretty much the same thing, either way. Huh. I'm kind of with Alphys here. That's a little bit sussy. You glanced back through the messages. They were going to test Project V tonight. Dr. Bratty is a biochemist engineer, so more than likely BAG is something chemistry related. Dr. Alphys and Dr. Wingerdings also mentioned a prototype. You'll have to check Dr. Sands' desk. You go to the elevator and move down to the 8th floor. I mean, wow, a battle between two great minds happened here. I don't know who won. I think Alphys technically won overall there. She's like, if you're a good boy, I'll invite Twinkle, okay? You do things my way, and you get goodies, okay? Deal. Good. Don't ever try to tell me no ever again. I will always have something on you, Dr. Gaster. You may be a brilliant mind, but I know how the heart works. I have a relationship, after all. And if you want one in the future, blooming heck, freaking Sans is getting, my sister after him, and freaking Dr. Gaster gets, Alphys after him. So who is Papyrus gonna get after his butt? Who is it going to be? Undie? Is Undie going to be the one to try and tell him, because Papyrus is just not going to get it straight away? Oh my god, that's adorable. So cute. All right. Also, profile. We've also I went back and I changed it for us to be a biochemist because I thought it'd be better for us to be something more biochemistry, you know. So in other words, we don't like maths, we like chemistry and biology. Now I'm happy. Okay? Great. Fantastic. Everything else is pretty much the same, I think. Yes? But yeah, I went back and I wanted to change it to being that. Because I just felt it would fit better rather than computer engineering. That was just my own personal choice. Anyway, this is the I read this word in Sans right. Why am I flubbering it? This is the collaboration floor. There are desks and a variety of machines everywhere. There are moving shadows in the corners and it is painfully cold. Brrr. Thankfully, only a handful of desks have things on them, and a lot of the desks are emptied. It means there's only a few collaborations being worked on. You step off the elevator. First, let's go to table 1. The table is long and brittled with metallic devices, wires, discarded parts, and complex blueprints. You can make out Dr. Sands and Dr. Alphys' signatures on the blueprints and notes, and conclude this must be a workstation for both of them. The message between Dr. Wingerdings and Dr. Alphys mentioned they were working on something regarding Project V. This is what they were talked about. You rummage through the paperwork. Dr. Alphys' writing is slanted and barely illegible, but Sans is easy to read. You find a cover page and read through it, and last time I read through this, it really made little to no blooming sense to me, so I don't know if I'm going to botch it again. Prototype RV. Device is designed to work similar to an electromagnetic pulse. A pulse is produced through a nuclear detonation in the ionization of air molecules by gamma rays generated from the explosion. So it makes a tiny boom, and then poof, and then we end up in the magic mirror land. Anyway, these gamma rays ionize the air molecules. By interacting with the air molecules, produce positive ions and recoil electrons. This must have been such a... This would make my head spin if I had to write this. Computer and electrons. Pivoting the energy using the RDM causes the molecules to rapidly stabilize, which produces flashes of light caught in the magnetic field of the original pulse. It is similar to a borealis, but further scans are needed. I wonder if this is just a callback to Siren Call. When the charge is produced in contact with the black AG, see Dr. Bratty, the black AG absorbs the entirety of the product. The particles produced weakly interact with the surrounding particles and absorb all lights producing nearby, indicating it is cold dark matter. A unique wavelength is found between in the absorption that matches the aura produced by the magic mirror of doom. AKA, the shadows come from the mirror, but we're gonna ignore the frickin' warning. Behind the cover page is a blueprint of a device that looks similar to like a small taser. Ooh, goody gumdrops. Tasers for everybody. Right, table 2. The table is long, riddled with test tubes, vials, and glass jars. You can make out Dr. Brady and Dr. Toby's signatures on the blueprints and notes and conclude this must be a workstation for the both of them. You rummage through the paperwork until you find something that discusses Project V. The black AG is a material with the same makeup as the AG, but produces using cool dark matter. The particles vibrate at a consistent frequency that keeps the material in a permanent liquid state, and the intermolecular bonds are difficult to irritate. Visually similar to mercury, but with black overtones, aka it is our black goop in a tube. Project M, the deadly mirror of doom, had the strongest reaction to the AG, and including cold dark matter into the creation process has yielded promising results. Because why not just mess with the magic mirror of doom that made people disappear out of the blue one day, leaving a mysterious message that clearly said the shadows came out of the mirror? Oh well. Dr. Alvis and Dr. Sands hypothesize they can disturb the bonds to mimic the mirror's aura. The rest of the pages dissolve into equations and show the trials of testing of other metals. You do recognize some of the pictures matching the vial from the chemistry floor, and you spot the word doorway a lot in their shorthanded notes. Aging means silver, so black silver. Well, let's toddle off to the 9th floor. Floor 9, the physics floor. This is headed by Dr. Sans Gaster. He doesn't have a big team, mostly just him, Dr. Wimsalot, Dr. Uni, and Dr. Akio. You never visited this floor before. You're not certain where everything is. Hopefully it won't be hard to navigate. You open the door and see nothing. Blooming heck. You shine your phone flashlight into the darkness and it yields maybe a hand's worth of distance. It's difficult to follow with your eye, but you swear it looks like the shadows are suddenly swaying to the side like, hey, Magdalena. They're doing, wow, waving to you as you go in like, hello, we're going to kill you if you get too close. Your breath comes out in puffs and already you are shivering. Brrr. Why is this happening? Because someone chose to mess with the deadly mirror of doom and didn't take, the warnings into consideration. Get off the elevator. Why not? Let's go. Let's get going. Let's go. Am I going the right way? Yes, I am. You get off the elevator. It is a struggle to see more than a step in front of you. Your body shakes involuntarily. Goosebumps cover every inch of your ivory skin. Each exhale drains you of warmth, and each inhale replaces the warmth with a mounting sense of dread. You should not linger here. You have no idea where Sans desk is. You hope it's not far. Of course it's not far. Sans normally is by the front, isn't he? Because he doesn't like to go very far. The message between Dr. Alvis and Dr. Wingding suggests that the prototype is at Sans' desk. You can grab it and leave. You move forward, 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 and you move to the right. The only reason I know this is because I remember from Sans' route that it was forward, 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 Forward 3 times and to the right, and that's where Sans desk is. So you don't actually get told that on Wingerdings' route. You arrive at the desk and you see Sans' name tag on the desk. You're relieved he was so close to the elevator. Your pink eyes roam over the surface and you spot a familiar picture. Oh, it's a picture of you with Gaster's family at last year's Winter Veil party. Your gaze focuses on Dr. Wingerding's hand casually placed on your hip. Oh, hello. Oh my. Why is it on my hip? Oh my. Oh no. He had pulled you into the center of the spot of the shot, and Dr. Sans stands in front of Wingerdings and Papyrus stands beside you. The 4 of you is smiling. You remember how giddy you were at the party. You sure you weren't giddy because he's literally got his hand on your hip? Oh my. You rummage through the desk and soon find the prototype mentioned. Take the damn thing. Okay, it is time to leave and you return to the elevator post haste. You take the elevator to the bottom floor, floor 10. This is Dr. Wingerding's Gaster's area. Oh, we're in the man of the hour's freaking floor. It's about time we got here. When you step off the elevator, you're surprised to find the elevator empties out into a skywalk and is brightly lit with no shadows to be found. Your sneakers clink on the metal floor and you grip the metal railing as you stare at a mirror. Dun dun dun! Not just any mirror, the wretched mirror of doom. There's some type of oval mirror on the ground and there's spotlights focus on it like, don't you dare freaking move. You move an inch and we will get you. And literally they're just like questioning the mirror, like, where were you on the night in question? This kind of reminds me though, a mirror is kind of like giving me the feels of like the back rooms or like SCP, you know, where they have like certain like SCPs under lights to make sure they don't do anything. Looking at it disturbs you. You look away. It's quiet. It's clear that no one is here, not even Mia. You let out a slow breath. You make your way across the catwalk. At the very far back end of the room is Dr. Wingerdings' office. You open the door. It's a wide office. The walls are lined with awards, certificates, and degrees. Woof. His desk has stacks of paper written in code that you cannot read. There has to be something here, something to tell me where they are. People don't disappear. They don't vanish into thin air. It's not like, you know, this is some creepypasta or a horror story. And it's not like the biggest change my character had is literally reading the document paper at the start where it said something about shadows coming off a mirror, and then lo and behold, she finds on the bottom floor a freaking mirror, and she doesn't think for a second, it's weird how mirror keeps popping up, innit? And all the lights are on this thing, and again, character's like, don't know where they are. There must be a clue. The clue is the mirror. You think back to those strange shadows. You absentmindedly rub your hands together and you rummage through Dr. Gaster's desk. He writes almost everything in strange code that you don't understand. You do notice that he has the same picture of the Winter Veil party that Dr. Sans has. You stare at it for a moment, oddly guilty for how you're searching through everyone's belongings. None of this makes any sense. These are brilliant scientists. They wouldn't disappear without a trace, and those shadows. Well, they didn't disappear without a trace. They left some tracers, some clues. They left to conveniently place items that are very helpful in the long run. You think through what you have and what you found. They were working on Project V. They were going to test out Project V tonight. It's not hard to conclude that Project V is behind their disappearance, and you think it's related to that mirror. You walk out of Dr. Wingerding's office and go down the skywalk to approach the mirror. It has a dark surface and eludes a faint, shadowy aura. The two things relate to Project V, the prototype and the black AGG. You have both with you, and you recall the collaborative notes. You take out the vial and you pour it over the mirror surface, and then you take out the prototype. Flip it on, and you touch the liquid with it, and then everything goes dark. Oh, blimey neck. Okay, who's ready to go into none other than the dark, shadowy world of the mirror? Let's go. Oh, we're here. Dr. Wingerding's Gaster. He's brilliant. You know he is. Everyone knows he is. You remember the first time you met him. This clever man. You and your sister had only recently moved into her house and she started her job at the Capri Diem. The facility received a blanket invitation by the Dremere family to a New Year's gala. Black tie and all. She invited you as her +1. You were a fresh university student and you were excited to attend. It was a big event. Paparazzi were even there and limos were rented out for the members of the team. The Monster Kingdom was very proud of its scientists and always looked to show them off since they were freed. You and me arrived at the event and everything was fine at first. But one thing after another pops up and your sister is whisked away by a bubbly bunny named Cinnamon and her date mate. Hey! Cinnamon! Cinnamon! We love Cinnamon! My gosh, it's nice to see Cinnamon's back. And her date mate, nice. Callbacks to underswap. You were alone, so you did what any sensible woman would do in this place. You'd be like to the food table so no one will talk to you. I'm going to read the 2 interactions, okay, and then we'll decide which one we want to go with. So, we'll go with, you beeline for the food table, no one will talk to you if you have food in your mouth. You meander your way over to the food table and help yourself to the offerings. Everything was delicious, and alongside the food was served these bubbly, sweet, refreshing drinks. You ate and you drank. Rinse and repeat till suddenly you were lightheaded and far bolder than before. You would not realize at the time that the drinks had magically enchantments to mimic booze. Oh, no. Mistakes were made in this moment for this character. I'm so sorry. You were unwittingly wasted. Guests paired off in preparing for the midnight kiss, but you were alone and unhappy about it. You suddenly stumbled gracefully. You suddenly stumbled, gracefully walked out to the balcony fresh air. You moved southward further from your intoxication, and the music swelled as the orchestra picked up again in celebration of the midnight. You heard footsteps behind you and you turn around to face Dr. Wingding's Gaster as the clock struck. Not that you realized who he was at the time. All you saw was a tall, spindly monster with a fixed smile and bright white lights in the dark eye sockets. He was dressed like all the guests in formal attire. He wore his tuxedo well. The dark colours suited him. Compelled by the bravery and only found in stupidity. Oh no. This is so awkward. Oh my god, no. I regret this choice so much. Okay. Alcohol, you demand it. Oh god, this is just getting worse. I like how it's just crossed out. Found in stupid alcohol, you demanded Dr. Wingdings to dance with you since you were without a partner to kiss. He laughed loudly. His whole body shook. It was a strange high-pitched sound like an error code from the computer. Glitchy, but he agreed. He offered you his hand and he swept you into the music. The two of you danced the song of midnight, and at the end he gave you a graceful bow. You tried to replicate it and bent over too far and planted into the ground. Oh, man. You blacked out after that. You thought for certain you would never see him again, but when you visited your sister at the Capri Diem to bring her dinner, you met him again. Are you going to ask me for another dance? He signed to you with a sly smile. Your face burned at the memory and you profusely apologized, but he laughed and waved you off. It was fun. No need to apologize. He offered his hand for a firm, brief shake. It is good to meet you properly. I am Dr. Wingding's Gaster. Oh my god, that was so bad. No. Absolutely not. No. You bloomed into the social butterfly rose meant to be. Forget that. We're doing that one. I can't. No. I can't imagine her getting drunk. I can't put her through that. Absolutely freaking not. You were magnificent. You chatted with so many of Mia's co-workers and the gala guests that you invited on your own to come again next year. When servants came around and offered you drinks, something cool and refreshing. Is she gonna get drunk? But either way, Dark Petals, why? Why is the character gonna get drunk? No. There isn't an option for her not to get drunk, is there? Oh, for God's sake. You accepted without thought. You had to stay hydrated to keep talking after all. 1 drink became 2, which became 5, and suddenly you were lightheaded and far bolder than before. Oh, for fudging biscuits, boo bars, and bloomin' bubblies. You would not realise at the time that the drinks had been magically enchanted to mimic booze. You were unwittingly wasted. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, hold on then. My God. Yeah, oh God. You face planted, never seen me gonna. Oh my God. Okay, so be here. When you go to bring her dinner, are you going to ask me for another dance? He had signed to you with a sly smile. You smile back at him. Are you offering? There is no music. You offered your hand to him. That can't be changed. He laughed and accepted your hand for a firm brief shake. Another time. It is good to meet you properly. I am Dr. Wingeding's Gaster. So again, you still ended up face planting the floor. Oh, for God's sake. Not only did you demand him to dance with you, this time round, you again face planted, but then afterwards, he clearly is interested in dancing with you again. I'm guessing he must have seen you talking with the others and he saw that you were getting along with everyone. That's what I'm assuming, because otherwise I have no clue why that changed how he interacted with you there. Oh. Okay, so now, let's see what Dr. Wingeding sound like, shall we? You are heavy. There's a weight on your chest. It is warm and comfortable. Like a small kitten that is curled up on your chest and fell asleep. Your heavy lids struggle to open. Your fingers twitch, numb and tingly. Pricks, pins, and pokes lightly dot your skin. Each inhale brings the scent of dead leaves and old wood. The ground you lay prone on is damp and chilly. It is as silent as a graveyard and you hear nothing but your own breath and heartbeat. You try to wriggle your toes, but the movement is strenuous. You barely flinch. It is harder than a wading waist deep through mud. Future Twinkle here, chiming in to inform everyone that the actual voice lines for this have been removed for reasons we shall not discuss in this video. So instead, we're going to have me doing the voices for the characters, but don't worry, I'm going to be using Audacity to make them fancy. Alright, off we go, and brace yourself because I have no clue what we're in store for with me in charge of Wingeding's voice. You were warned.
Keep calm. Do not move.
Dr. Wingedings, you almost flinched in surprise at hearing his voice. The selectively mute monster rarely spoke to you, preferably to sign whenever possible. You can count on one hand the amount of times you heard him. You can't turn your head in the direction of the voice nor open your eyes. An invisible weight is pressing down on you. So you better try and keep calm. Do not move.
Be at ease. You are safe.
You stealth your movements. Safe? Are you really safe? Are you really truly safe in all this? Are you? Are you really safe? I don't think we are. Something doesn't feel right. Something about the situation unsettles you, and you try to move.
Do not needlessly tire yourself.
You will your hands to move and fight it impossible. You will your feet, your legs, your neck, anything to react, and all you can manage is the barest twitch. A faint crease forms in your brow as you fight to move your body. Fight harder. Tire yourself.
Stop fighting.
It's tiring. You focus on just your fingers, trying to move them. You picture wriggling them, and are rewarded with a creaking sensation of achy joints. Again, you keep your efforts zeroed in on the simple action of trying to move your fingers. Bit by bit, inch by inch, you gain ground. You hear a low hissing noise in your head. The sound sharp and chilling. Fight harder, tire yourself.
Useless.
You ignore the voice. Your fingers are moving now. You clench them into weak fists, and that one action triggers a cascade of movement, like a weight has been taken off you, and your entire body can move. You rotate your ankles, and shakily pull your legs up. You strain to sit up and open your eyes. The first thing you notice is a palm-sized heart that floats a hand's width away from your chest. It glows a bright lavender. You stare at it for a moment, then suck in a sharp breath as you realize what it is. That is your soul. It is my soul, the accumulation of my very being. And that's a wrap. So, 10 likes on this video, otherwise no more of the shadows are watching. And just to clarify, yes, this is the voice I will go ahead and use for Wingeding's Gaster for his route specifically. So yes, you will keep hearing this voice. Let me know over in the community tab if you actually like the voice I gave him, or just let me know down in the comment section below if you liked it. Alright, so again, 10 likes, otherwise that's it. No more episode of The Shadows Are Watching. Hit that like goal and then we'll get more. Alright, as for the incident involving the voices didn't just get removed from The Shadows Are Watching, they've also been removed from If Underfell. So that means going forward, in terms of like me dealing with the bad endings in this game specifically, I will have to give Sans a new voice. And of course I've got this one I'm using for Gaster, so hopefully that's not going to be too jarring for people. But yeah, this started with voice acting, so I'm going to keep, you know, doing it this way. Hopefully it's fine with everyone. Alright, well, there was a bunch of other stuff I was supposed to say, but I can't remember as usual. I got the memory of not even a goldfish. A goldfish probably has a better memory than I do. And as you notice, we had a white soul. We had the soul like a monster. This is fantastic. Maybe I secretly am a monster deep down. Alright, well, I'll see you guys next time. 10 likes, and then we'll have more of The Shadows Are Watching. So, yeah, bye for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.